I think the other thing that is hurting the Republicans right now has been their failure to make a case, except for to the most lunatic fringe, about the Hunter Biden stuff. Like, I mean, everybody knew Hunter Biden, an F-up in many respects. Some people more sympathetic than others to this guy's situation. An addict and, trading on his dad's name.
Doing lewd stuff.
Doing lewd stuff. Some people more sympathetic than others, based upon his childhood and then his brother dying, all of that stuff. But as a political matter, they can't seem to connect it to Joe Biden because there really is no connection. We talked the other day about the testimony from Devon Archer, who was Hunter Biden's business partner. And Devon Archer testified in front of the House Oversight Committee, I think it was, that Hunter Biden would call his dad maybe 20 times within the middle of a business meeting and almost be like, everybody, shh, here's my dad, to prove that he had a relationship with his father, but would not ever sort of bring the dad into it. And it was never even clear if Joe Biden knew there were other people in the room. Hunter Biden would, his father would pick up the phone, particularly in 2015, because his brother was dying, the other son. And again, Joe Biden's, wife and daughter died in a car accident that had both Hunter and Beau Biden in the hospital for months. And so in that context, but Devon Archer, who was the star witness, came in and said, oh, yeah, no, he called him when we were there. And Hunter definitely traded off his father's name, which of course he did. But they never discussed the business.
He said he was selling the, quote, illusion of access to his father. That was the quote that was said behind closed doors. It's notable that the Republicans didn't put this meeting in front of people.
Are you sure
Yes.
they didn't put the meeting in front of people? Because somehow Fox's Kayleigh McEnany saw it.
Oh.
This is clip number 8.
And that's what we're going to be talking about. And of course, not to mention in the last 15 minutes of Hunter Biden or the laptop.
Kayleigh, it's fascinating. What do you make of it?
It is. I mean, when I watched the shocking Devon Archer testimony, what did we learn?
Pause
We
it for a
learned
second.
that President.
There is no person in the country who is not on that committee or a staff of that committee or representing Devon Archer or who was in that room. There is nobody who watched that testimony because it was behind closed doors, specifically because the Republicans wanted to be able to twist what was said. And they don't want clips. There's a reason why they're not playing a clip of this devastating Devon Archer testimony that we all saw with Kayleigh McEnany.
Wow, are you saying that the former Trump White House press secretary is not an honest person?
Let's keep playing it.
Kayleigh, it's fascinating. What do you make of it?
It is. I mean, when I watched the shocking Devon Archer testimony, what did we learn? We learned that President Joe Biden, then vice president, was a part of 20 plus conversations that Hunter was engaged in with his business dealings, completely demolishing the argument, which has long been that of Joe Biden, which is that he had never spoken to his son about his business dealings. I learned a lot from that hearing. Anyone who's been following this did as well, implicating not just Hunter Biden, but Joe Biden here. But what was the New York Times takeaway? They said it has, quote, long been known that occasionally Joe Biden got on the phone with his son in those business dealings. It's not long been known. Not only that, they went on to say, also, he's long maintained he had no involvement. No, he has long maintained since he told our own Peter Doocy, I've never spoken with him. So it's just interesting how the media moves the ball from speaking to involvement, covering him from along the way. But the American people see through it.
Yeah, I always go
move
back
the
in my
ball
mind.
is really the key here, right? Because she says, because we know Hunter Biden called Joe Biden while he was in these meetings, but they didn't discuss. They were like, "What's the weather like?" Or "How you doing, Dad? What's the latest?" "Oh, great, good stuff, kiddo. We'll talk to you later."
We get the
And
meta information,
so he
which is how many times they called, as opposed to
and
the
called
content.
in his business dealings.
Yeah.
And
she leaves out what she apparently saw with her own two eyes, which is the characterization of the star witness, which is that he was selling just the illusion.
exactly.
It's just the calls, though. We can trust everything else he's saying, but not his characterization of what the calls entailed.
But this is a prime example as to why they're failing on that front, because they don't have any footage. Like, they don't have the damning, comment from Devon Archer, because of course it was behind closed doors. Because of course they realized he's not going to say what we want him to say. So better to sort of like massage it as it gets disseminated to the public.